Okay, hello everyone, welcome back to the new video. And here in today's video, we are going to learn about what are loops in JavaScript. What are basically loops? So, in this video, you're going to get the whole complete understanding and basic knowledge about loops in JavaScript. In today's video, only gonna explain you about what are for loops and what are while loops in JavaScript. And there are also other types of loops like for in loop, for off loop, do while loop, and for each loop, and we will gonna just go through all these types of loops in the later part of the video. But today only, as you can see on the screen, we have loops structure. So it's going to the next slide. What are basically loops? Now loops are just loop are just a statement, or you can say a procedure or process, with the help of which we can go through a sequence multiple times, maybe two times, maybe three times, but as long as the condition is true. Okay, so I'm gonna repeat it again. Loop are just a process or some particular kind of syntaxes through which we go through a set of statements, and set of statements is executed continuously on and on and on, only until the set of conditions is true. Okay, so here's a very basic flowchart. As you can see on the screen here, here's a basic flowchart of for loop or while loop or any basic loop structure. What we do is that we just execute a syntax of any loop, let's say a while loop or a for loop. Then the compiler will test the check the test condition. Okay, if the test condition evaluates to true, then it will execute a statement block. Otherwise, if the test condition evaluates to false, as you can see here, it will exit from the loop and the termination stops, right? So if I'm going to compile together, what are loops? Basically, loops are nothing but loops helps us to go through a set of statements for multiple times, again and again and again, until the set of condition is true. Okay, until the test condition is true, and as soon as the test condition falls, the control variable terminates the loop. The compiler just terminates the loop and follow the statement that is the next, just following the looping structure. Okay, so this is the basic of the looping in JavaScript. So JavaScript's looping structures are while loop and for loop. We are going to only learn about whiles and for loop in today's video. So here is the example of while loop. What are while loops? Okay, so here is the example: decimal to binary converter in JavaScript, and you can also see the syntax of while loop. First, here is the initialization expression. Okay, there are two variables x and y. Now I'm going to initialize that. Okay, x equals to 75 and y is equals to null, because it's a binary equivalent. What is my question? We are going to convert a decimal to binary conversion in JavaScript. So let's say x is 75, which is a decimal number, and we have to convert this in a binary string, and that is the empty string, and that is referred to as y. So x and y are initialized. Okay, now here is my while statement. While statement, because we are going through the while loop, and here is the test condition. As you can see here, completely here is the test condition that is enclosed in parentheses. As you can see in the next slide, test condition is enclosed in parentheses, and which says x is greater than 0. So as long as the condition is true, the control variable will enter this while loop and will execute all the statements that is within this curly braces. Okay, these four statements are within this curly braces. So as long as the condition is true, and the test condition is x is greater than 0. So as long as the test condition is true, the control variable keeps on executing these four statements in order, again and again and again, unless and until the condition evaluates to false. Okay, all the statements are getting executed inside the curly braces as long as the test condition is true. So for the first time, x is 75. So the control variable, the compiler will check like x is greater than 0. Yes, 75 is greater than 0, and that is true. So we'll go to the evaluate the first statement inside the curly braces, and which is remainder. Remainder is equal to x modulos 2. It will give me the remainder of 75 when we divide this by 2, and that will be, I guess, 37, and that will be 1. Okay, the remainder will be x modulo. Okay, that will be, the remainder will be 1. Okay, so the question, now the next statement is question. Now question will be math.floor x by 2. Now whatever the x is, we'll divide by 2, and we'll get the just the decimal round value, decimal rounded down value. Okay, we'll get the question. Now y is equals to remainder plus y, and x equals to question. So these all statements are getting executed for the first time. Second, as soon as all the four statements are executed, this control variable will again go back to here. This control will again go back to here, and will again, since x is getting incremented here, again it will go back to here, and then it will check the condition whether it's true or not. Then again x is greater than 0, then it will again go back to these four statements again. X is getting updated every time the while loop is getting executed. Now x is getting updated again, then it will check the condition again. If x is greater than 0, well and good, the remainder will get evaluated, quotient variable will get evaluated, the y updated, the x will again the loop and check the test condition. If x is greater than 0, then it will again go back to the remainder variable, go back to the quotient variable, go back to the y variable and update the y variable as remainder plus y, go back to the x variable, update the x variable as x is equals to quotient, and then it will again go back to test condition. Now, in this case, if x is false, if the test condition is false, that means if x is not greater than 0, maybe x is minus 1 or maybe x is minus 2. Okay, that means if x is less than 0, then it will terminate the while loop, and this the control variable, the compiler or the interpreter will come back to this line, document.write line. Okay, then it will terminate the while loop and it will follow the statement which is next to this while loop, that is document.write y is equals to plus y. That means it will execute and print the statement whatever the value that is stored in the variable y. Okay, so the y will get printed. So this was the whole just working explanation of how the while loop works. Okay, so in the next slide we are going to see some example. Again, there is the example 2. There is a small example and very easy example. While tank is full, equal false. Now this is the boolean condition. Okay, this is a boolean condition. Tank is full is kind of a variable, boolean variable, and if it is equal to false, that means double equals means if it equals to false, then only execute this statement. Otherwise, if tank is full equals to true, then don't execute this statement. So if in the first case, if tank is full, it was false, then it will execute the statement. It will update the tank variable, tank is equal to tank plus bucket. And if it again go back to the next statement, if tank is full is equals to false, it will keep on incrementing the tank variable. And if the while loop condition evaluates to false, then this will terminate the while loop, and then the document.write statement will get executed, and it will print in my console log that tank is full now. Okay, so this was the basic for loop, and now we're going to learn this while loop more better by just seeing this example third. Here is the initialization expression x equals to 1. We are initializing x equals to 1. In the while loop, we are putting the text condition as if x is less than 6000, then only execute all the statements that is within this curly braces. Okay, and now for the first case, and then after that, in the last statement inside the curly braces, we're gonna update the x variable, because that is very important, because there are three parts in the while loop. First is the initialization expression, second is the test condition, and third is the update expression. Okay, so first is the initialization, and the initialization is done. Then we will check the test condition. If 1 is less than 6000, that is obviously true. 1 is always less than 6000. So it will execute the first statement within the curly loop, curly braces, and that is document.write x. That means it will print the value of x, that is 1. Now it will increment the value of x as x equals to x plus 1, and that will be x equals to 2. Again, it will check the test condition. Since there is the end of the curly braces, it will again go back to the test condition and check whether x is less than 6000 or not. Now x is equals to 2. X equals to 2, which is less than 6000. Now it will document.write x, that is 2, and now it will again increment x as 1, increment x with 1, that means x is equals to 3. Now it will again check the test condition. 3 is less than 6000. It will print the value of 3. It will update x as 4. Then it will again check 4 is less than 6000. It will again write the value of x, that is 4, and will again update the expression, and this will go on and on. This statement, these two statements are getting executed on and on and on continuously up till 6000, unless and until this test condition is false. Then only it will get out of the loop and will execute all the statements in order that is following the while loop. Okay, now here's a question. So here's the question: can you tell me how many times this while loop is getting executed? And it's obvious, it's 6000 times, maybe 5999 times. Okay, because if x is less than 6000, so it will first check the test condition, and if x is greater than 5999, then it will terminate the loop, because not x is not then equals to 6000. X is always less than, strictly less than 6000. Okay, and x is an integer, so here 5999, now 5999 times this while loop will execute. Okay, I'm going back to the next statement, and that is for loop. Now we are going to learn about what are for loops. For loops are the same as while loop, only there's a difference in the syntax, and there's a difference in the order of how the for loop works. Okay, otherwise it's all same. The functioning of the for loop and while loop are same. Both of these looping structures, both of these are looping structures, and they both of them execute a set of statements inside the curly braces multiple number of times unless until the text condition evaluates to false. Okay, similar example, the previous example, x equals to 1 in while loop, x is less than 6000. As long as x is less than 6000, it will execute these two statements again and again and again and again, and it will keep on checking whether x is less than 6000 or not, and then it will update continuously the value of x. Okay, so how we can do in for loop? In for loop we have three parts, as in while loop also we have three parts. The first was the initialization expression. Here is the initialization expression, x equals to 1. Second is the text expression, text condition, x is less than 6000 is the text condition. Third is the update expression, that is the update the value of the counter variable. In here it is the counter variable is x, so update this value with 1, increment this value with 1. So here are the three parts in the while loop. Similarly, here are the three parts in the for loop, and here is the syntax of the for loop as well. We will start by writing for, and in the round braces, we first just give the initialization expression, that is the control variable. What is the initial value of the control variable? We say that x equals to 1 because we have to start this loop from the one time and we have to execute it till 6000 times. So we will say x equals to 1, and then we put semicolon. That means it is the end of the first part, that is the initialization expression. Now we will write the test condition in the second part of the for loop. Test condition is that x is run this loop until and unless x is less than 6000. So the for loop will get to know that I have to start from 1 and I have to run this loop, run all the statements inside this curly braces until and unless x is greater than 6000. Okay, as soon as x is greater than 5999, I have to stop this loop. I have to terminate from this loop and I have to follow the statement that is the next following the for loop. Okay, then again semicolon, that means the test condition is here only. Now we will write the update expression, which is x equals to x plus 1. You can also write x plus plus, which is not wrong. You can also write x plus plus, but in this example I am written x equals to x plus 1 because for simplicity. Okay, so here is the complete breakdown of the for loop: initialization expression, test condition, and then the update condition. And then here is the curly braces. Curly braces, within the curly braces I have written documented write x. That means I have to print the number from 1 to 5999, because I am written documented write x, and I have to all the time I have to update the condition. Okay, so here's how your for loop will work. First, it will go for the initial count, that is the initial count is the initialization expression. Then it will go for the text condition, second process. Second process is the text condition. When x is less than 6000, it will go into the document structure. It will execute all the statements that is written inside the curly braces. And if all the statements are in the curly braces are completed, then it will go to the update expression. Remember here, this is the very important thing to note about in the for loop, is that the initialization expression will evaluate. If it will check what is the initial value of x, that is 1. Okay, that's good. Now it will check the test condition. If x is less than 6000, and that's true, and if the statement is true, if the test condition is true, it will go directly to the statement to execute the statement inside the curly braces. So it's like document.write x. So it will just it will write in the document the value of x, that is 1. Now it will update the value of x equals to x plus 1, that is x becomes 2 now. It will again check the test condition. If it's true, then it will again go back to the statement to execute the statement. It will again then update the expression. It will then again check the test condition. If it's true, then it will again execute the statement inside the curly braces. Then again, the third step is that it will again update the expression. It will again check the test condition, and if the test condition is true, then it will execute the statement inside the curly braces. So this process will go on and on and on until unless the test condition evaluates to false. As soon as the test condition evaluates to false, that means x is greater than 5999 or x is equal to 6000, then it will terminate the loop and it will follow the statement which is just next following this closure of the curly braces. So here is the initial expression, here is the condition, here is the operation, that means updation. Okay, so here is the for loop description. Now this is the first description. You have to listen to this very carefully. Number 1, the for loop starts by initializing the counter variable, which in this case is x. As you can see in the example here, it will just start with the initial expression x equals to 1. Second, the initial value in this case is 1, but can be any other positive or negative number as well. So this is very important to note. Here is I have written 1 here, but you can write anything. That like it depends on your question, like for how many times you have to run the loop and from which point you have to start the loop. And since I'm saying to the for loop, I have to start the for loop from starting from 1, and I have to execute it till 6,000. Okay, when x is less than 6,000, I have to execute with 6,000 times. So I have started with x equals to 1 and x is less than 6,000. Okay, number third. Next, the for loop checks the condition. After the initialization, it will check the condition. Second step is that the for loop, the control variable will check the compiler will check the condition. If the condition evaluates to true value, the for loop goes through the loop once. Only goes through the loop once. Here in this case, we have x equals to 1, and if x is less than 6,000, which is true, it will go through this statement, that is document.write x. It will execute the statement, and then it will go for the update expression. Number 4. After reaching the end of the iteration, the for loop goes to the loop top once again, performs the operation, check the condition. As I have told you once more, after it will execute all the statements inside the curly braces, it will go back and it will update the value of x as x equals to x plus 1, or whatever the condition operation you have written here. It will update the value of x. It will again check the condition. If it's true, then it will again go back inside the curly braces, execute all the statements inside the curly braces. Then it will again update the value. It will again check the test condition. It will again go back to the statement execution inside the curly braces. So this loop goes on and on. Number 5. If the condition evaluates the false value, then for loop finishes looping. Then that's very true. Otherwise, the for loop goes through the loop once again. So this is how the description of for loop is, and then the process are repeated from step 4. Okay. So after the test condition, it will go to the statement, and then it will go to the update expression. See here, after the test condition, it will go execute the statement, it will go to the update expression, it will check the test condition again, it will go to the statement execution. It will then, after the statement executed is finished, it will again update the value of x, it will again test the condition of x, it will go back to the statement execution. Then the same process goes on and on until the test condition evaluates the false. Okay. Here is the second example. In the previous example, I was starting x as 1 from 1. Now I want to start from x from 99. So I'm starting from 99, and my loop will execute from 5,999, or I can say 6,000 times. And each time I want to execute, I want to increment x by value of 1. So from starting is x is equals to 99, and it will print the value of x, which is 99. Okay, in the output console I will get 99. Again, it will update the value of x as 100, and then 100 is less than 6,000. It will print, it will go to the execution statement, print 100, and then it will update the value of x, which is 101. Now it will check the condition. 101 is less than 6,000. It will print document.write x, that is 101 is printed on the console. Then it will again update the expression 102. It will check the condition again. 102 is less than 6,000. Now it will just print console the value of x, that is 102. Then it will again update the expression. It will check the condition again. It will print the condition again. It will print the value of x again. So this is how the looping structure works. Here's example 3. Now this time I want to decrement the value of x. From 6,000, x is greater than 0. The test condition is this, that x must be greater than 0 and x equals to x minus 1. So here is that I am starting with 6,000. I'm printing 6,000. Since x is greater than 0, I'm printing 6,000. I'm decrementing the value of x by 1. Each time the value is getting decremented by 1. And for first time it will be 5,999. And since it's greater than 0, it will print 5,999. Again, it will become 5,998. It's greater than 0, it will print 5,998. So this will loop and goes again and again until x is greater than 0. And as soon as x becomes less than 0, the termination stops. Okay. So can you just answer this? Key, how many iterations would this for loop run for? The answer is 6,000, I guess. 6,000. Okay. So this was the basic loop. See, how many iterations would this for loop run for? X is less than 6,000. X equals to 6,000. Now this is example 4. Can you tell me how many iterations would this for loop run for? Think for a while and comment down below whether if you have the right answer or not. Okay, so I hope everyone has not cheated yet, and everyone has given the right answer. So I'm going to explain this to you if you haven't understood this. Initially the initial value of x is 6,000, and it will go for the text condition. X is less than 0. 6,000 is not less than 0. 6,000 will not less than 0. For the first case only, this loop will not terminate as the test condition value is false. So nothing will print in the console. In the first time only, first run case only, the test condition value is false, so it will get exit from the loop. So this for loop is getting executed 0 times. So here is the answer. This loop will execute none times, that is 0 times. Okay. So this was it in today's videos, guys. I hope you have learned something new, something exciting as well. This was for and while loop in JavaScript. I will keep uploading these type of videos in the future about while loop, about while loop, about for in, for each, for off loop, and so keep updating in this, guys. And if you like this video, please like the video, and I'll see you guys again next time. Bye. Take care.